At last, infections can be eliminated fast and for good. Cure your yeast infection, guaranteed. If you are looking for a fast, safe, effective and all-natural cure for yeast infection, then this is likely the most important report you will ever read. Dear Internet friend, hello, my name is Sarah Summer. I am a health researcher and the editor of the medical publication www.e-web-doctor.info. I am also a former yeast infection sufferer and know firsthand how yeast infections can disrupt a person's life. Over the next few minutes, I want to share with you valuable information you can use to cure your yeast infection. I want to share with you something new and important that I have discovered. Be warned, there is some good and some very bad advice on the internet. Some internet remedies recommend using boric acid. This toxic substance is a poison and has caused deaths. It has no place in anyone's home, much less inside you. I will honestly explain what works, what is safe and what is effective in treating yeast infection. And I will point out the dangers of other recommended treatments. Good advice is hard to find, but look for someone who has done their research, can prove it and will stand by their recommendations. The good news is you have found it. I can tell you honestly that there is a safe and effective, all-natural way to treat yeast infection. I will show you how to safely and permanently rid yourself of yeast infection without drugs. There is help. If you answered yes to any of the questions, then I can help you. Did you know these could be symptoms of a yeast infection? If you are suffering from any of these symptoms, take heart, there is a safe way to rid yourself from these problems. I am going to show you how you can break free from them. I'm here to help you get back your good health and the life you deserve. Yeast infection symptoms change. Strange yeast infection symptoms occur. They vary from person to person. And with one person, the symptoms can change from day to day. These symptoms may vary based on the person's general health or genetic makeup. This is one of the reasons that there are so many different symptoms. 75% of the population, it has been estimated, suffer from some sort of yeast infection at some time in their life. To treat yeast infection, you have to treat what caused the infection in the first place. The root cause. Everyone knows what a flare-up of vaginal yeast infection or diaper rash is. You get some medicine and it clears up, right? But did you really cure the infection or did you just treat the symptoms? Chronic yeast infection. You treated the symptoms in most cases and the yeast infection is still there. Unless you treated the root cause of the yeast infection, you have not solved the problem. It's still there. Yes, it is. There will still be a low level of the yeast cells present, just waiting until conditions are right for another flare-up. Most people don't know what a chronic yeast infection is or the damage it can do. Many people become so accustomed to their symptoms they think their symptoms are simply just part of growing older or part of their lives. The good news, finally. It is a simple fact that yeast, thrush, and candida can be cured permanently. Once and for all, completely eliminated. You can treat the root cause of yeast infection. And you can do this easily and safely in the privacy of your home. Even if your doctor may have told you differently. Hard to believe, isn't it? Since natural cures cannot be patented by drug companies, these natural cures are not profitable for them. They do not spend money researching them and do not promote them. Drug companies are required by law to make a profit and are not required by law to make drugs that help people. This shocking fact is not common knowledge. The big, fat lie. Think about it for a minute and decide yourself. Western medicine, television, our doctors, magazines, everywhere we look, conditions us to believe that repeated doses of this drug or that antibiotic or this medication can cure all our ills. You will feel better as long as you keep taking the drug. The drug companies want you to keep using their products over and over again. Do you really think they want to cure you, or keep you coming back for more? Many of the treatments they offer are band-aids, masking symptoms, while the real problem is never addressed. Think Vioxx to treat arthritis. Premarin to treat menopausal symptoms. Insulin might be wonderful, but it treats high blood sugar, not the underlying cause of diabetes. Did you know there is something called the Edmonton Protocol that transplants islet cells in the liver? It has been successful in curing diabetes. There has been no drug company funding. It is crazy. Drugs, they simply do not treat the root cause of the yeast infection. They mask the symptoms for a while. The yeast becomes drug-resistant to the treatment and the infection comes back even worse than before, more pain, more suffering and more drugs. Well, having thought about it for a minute, what do you think? The simple truth. Yeast infections of all kinds have plagued humans throughout history. Long before the drug companies came along, people had yeast infections and had been treating them. Somehow in the past people have been cured. That's what I set out to discover.